No warning, no nothing, of course. No warning, no nothing, of course. No warning, no nothing, of course. That's a good old pal. Start streaming without telling you anything. Just randomly starts a stream. Because I can, that's why. I can, that's why. That's why. Yep, the title, understandable. But first, we gotta do one thing. What in them, my dear people? My dear fellas? Then, smile a few. Shakons. Shakons. Smile a few shakons. Okay. I'll be honest. I'll be honest, that first. Is the cloud good? Can you hear me? Decent. Hold on. Gotta pull up one particular theory that caught my attention. Also, look at what I'm capable of. Huh, that. I guess that works too. I can change the screens. I can do this now. I figured it out. I finally figured it out. It's gonna be, yeah. The fuck? I'm supposed to be a part of this, Miss Mason. It doesn't matter. Nobody is here. Of course nobody is here. Of course nobody is here. Of course nobody is here. It's just me. I'm streaming to myself. Exactly. So, the theory we're watching today is the meaning of null. I thought so. The meaning of null. A Murder Jones crackpot hypothesis. Hypothesis, right? That's what it means. Hypothesis. Am I correct in the pronunciation? I'm pretty sure I'm correct. Yeah, I probably am correct. Sorry for a little flashback. Chrome. Think fast, but Stop fucking up everything. Think fast, Choco Nuts! Okay. Okay, enough of messing around. Enough of messing around. So yeah, you see the theory right here. I don't know, it caught my attention because of one little thing that I learned while watching a pretty good show. It's called hold on a second. Wait a second, I think I made a little incorrection in the title. Hold on. Merge ones. Theory reaction. Or theories reaction, I guess. Nobody. Yep. Nobody? Yeah, exactly. Nobody. Shut it. Shut it, buddy. Not now. Not now. But yes, now. Okay. So, what do I expect from this video? Explanations, obviously. Also, anything in this video, I don't claim it as my own. It's just a reaction, alright? It's just a reaction. Calm down, everybody. It's just a reaction. So again, one of the reasons why it intrigued me is because apparently null means like nothing. It's like nothing or not any, not even zero. It's like either zero, not even zero. It's like there's nothing, basically nothing. So it really caught my attention because it also can be used as void, the void. So I don't know, void manipulation, maybe. I don't know. Time we find out, shall we? Shall we? Of course, shall we?
Oh, Robo Jesus. It can't be, right?
Okay. That just caught me off guard. That voice? Really? Kaka, is that you? Kaka V420? Is that you? Is that you? Could it be you? Is it? Hmm? I don't know. I don't know. No, sounds similar. Whatever. Lord Drone. Oh yeah, my channel. Lord Drone. Like the video, obviously. Subscribe. I don't know if you deserve my subscription. Fuck that. I'll fuck it up.
Lord Drone, did you call me for something?
Yes. Good day.
A tinfoil hat? Why do I get the feeling I shouldn't be surprised at this point?
Trust me, it's the right mood for today. Please take a seat. I've been revising my notes so far, and I got to a hypothesis that might interest you.
I said it right. I said it right. Hypothesis. Who you messing with? Who you messing with? Me. You messing with me. I said it correctly. Correctly. Hypothesis.
So, let's try to refresh our memory a little. That might interest you. So, let's try to refresh our memory a little. What is the biggest overarching question of murder drones so far? The one most people still struggle to properly answer to this day.
Well, that would be everything regarding the Absolute Solver, starting with its origins, and what it is exactly.
That's right. If you remember my last Red video, it's become clear that the Absolute Solver is
I haven't watched your other videos.
a parasitic, hive mind alien creature. This hive mind can infect and control worker drones with damaged AI, turning them into solver-powered drones. Additionally, it can also infect this.
Oh, hello. Hello there. Hi.
Assembly drones, but unlike solver-powered drones, this assembly drones are protected from full corruption thanks to Sin's administrator rights.
You just have to give props to the Glitch production and Liam. They have been planning this since the beginning. They have been planning this since the very jump. Since the beginning. Sin, Absolute Solver, for a split frame, Uzi's eye turns into the solver symbol stuff. You know, since the very beginning. It's been years ahead, like seasons ahead. I bet you like 3 seasons ahead. I mean, I need 3 seasons of Murder Drones. Like 3 seasons of this, that'd be amazing. You know what would be even better? 4 seasons. That would be amazing. 4 seasons of Murder Drones? Hell yeah. Count me in. Count me in. 4 seasons? Let's go. Okay, enough with chattering. Let's just watch the video. Watch the video.
We've also dug into the idea that full corruption thanks to Sin's administrator rights. We've also dug into the idea that this tentacle creature from episode 4 is an Absolute Solver hatchling, which is created the moment the Absolute Solver has enough control over its host. And last but not least, we ironed out that the higher the corruption spreads, the higher the extent of the
You know, I feel like I should have watched the other videos instead. But I mean, the other ones are before episode 6 came out. I'll watch it later. I'll watch it later, maybe. Watch it later.
Absolute Solver's powers.
All the evidence supports your theory just fine so far. Did you find a hole in your theory?
Not exactly. In fact, I'm confident that my current theory stands highly probable, but there is something about all of this that bugs me. Do you remember what the Absolute Solver did to planet Earth? It completely destroyed it by gathering enough control over many worker drones and spawning a giant black hole. But that's
Wait, what? Control over many worker drones? Yeah, that did happen, but then tell me they all together created this black hole. Wait, did I heard it correctly? Well, not this side. Did I hear it correctly?
The Absolute Solver did to planet Earth. It completely destroyed it by gathering enough control over many worker drones and spawning a giant black hole. But that's exactly what's got me thinking lately. Why?
Bananas
Question.
are fantastic.
No, seriously. Why did the
Hey, Vsauce. Michael here. Okay.
Absolute Solver destroy Earth? After all, you would think that a parasitic Absolute Solver destroy Earth. After all, you would think that a parasitic creature would prefer to reproduce and take over the entire planet, not to take themselves out with it. It just doesn't add up. Why would the Absolute Solver ultimately commit suicide altogether, after having the whole world in their grasp? What could be the reasoning behind that? And after watching all the episodes again, and looking at the evidence, I've got a neat little idea that might explain this. I believe that the solver of the absolute fabric, the void, the exponential end, could have an ultimate form. Not this. Not this. And definitely not this either. The absolute solver's final manifestation of full control and power could actually be an engulfing black hole. Once there are enough drones in full possession of the absolute
a singularity. Well, this man is cooking. Hold on. This man is cooking right now. He's cooking. He's cooking. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Absolute solver would be an engulfing black hole. Once there are enough drones in full possession of the absolute solver, the event zero known as the singularity finally awakes, and thus all the possessed drones combine themselves into this cataclysmic form, ready to feed over the planet it was originated from. What do you think?
I think that's the wildest thing.
Why the pipe? Why the pipe sound effect? Please, what? Could you stop with it? Could everybody stop with the pipe sound effects, please? Thank you.
What do you think?
I think that's the wildest thing you've said so far. Do you have any evidence to back this bonkers claim?
Why, of course. I wouldn't say any of this without evidence, though. To be fair, I do think we should wait until more episodes release before we can promote this claim into a theory. For now, I prefer to leave this on the crackpot hypothesis drawer. That being said, there's a load of evidence that backs up this hypothesis. How about we take a look at all the times the show has teased us with the idea that the absolute solver is connected to black holes? Shall we go over all of it? Just beware, things might get a little sciencey at some point. Wait, actually. There we go. Now we can begin. Trust me, you look beautiful.
Unfortunately, I don't have a tinfoil hat. There's probably some tinfoil there, but eh.
There we go. Now we can begin. Trust me, you look beautiful. Let's start from the more direct reference. By the second half of episode 2, we see Jay's core, which is fully corrupted from the time she was repurposed as a disassembly drone. When N destroys Jay's core, a small black hole appears, then slides away out of frame slowly. It would make sense why this black hole is so tiny. After all, for every time the absolute solver has tried to possess Jay, since administration rights have prevented the absolute solver from doing so, it is only when Jay has received significant damage to her own integrity that the absolute solver parasite within her programming breaks free as an emergency protocol, trying to gather more matter in an attempt to repair its former host. It seems to be that this black hole size is relative to the control the absolute solver has over its hosts, since its control over Jay is almost non-existent. When the core is properly destroyed, the resulting output is non-existent too. Of course, aside from that, we also have the absolute solver's first display of power in episode 4.
Yeah, that was crazy to witness. That was a crazy thing to see. So I understand why some people don't like episode 4. I understand why some people don't like episode 4. I mean, a lot of things that happen in it were kind of like unrealistic. Do you realize what you're talking about? Yeah. By that I mean that these students, these worker drones, these basically students are getting killed one by one. They're getting killed right in front of their eyes. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. It's unrealistic. You don't believe what's happening because of that. All in all, episode 4 was pretty good. Episode 5 is also pretty good. I understand why some people don't like episode 5 because of how complicated it is in the way of understanding exactly what the hell is this shit's happening. What the hell is going on? That's understandable. still good episode. Good episodes. I liked all the episodes so far. I liked all the episodes. I probably won't be talking all that much, but I don't know. I'm just immersed, alright? I apologize for not talking a lot, like giving my thoughts on like what he says. My apologies, you know, I'm just immersed. I'm immersed. And whenever I'm immersed, I shut up. Like Cozy said. When I get immersed, I just shut up. Anyways.
Display of power in episode 4. As we now...
By the way, just to mention, only recently I've noticed that it was hand, like a human's hand in her mouth. The only way I realized that is because somebody pointed it out to me. Like, well, I watched a video essay or something, and it's like, oh, she has a human hand in her mouth. I'm like, wait, is it? Wait, really? Oh, really? Oh, damn. Oh. That's crazy.
I know from episode 6, it was this black hole that destroyed the Elliott Mansion. We also have the black holes Yuzi creates in episode 6 when
Yuzi. I mean, I understand why it said it like that. You know, Yuzi. Well, you got the U in it. You got F. You got the U. You idiot. No offense, just got the U. So you. I'm not good at this, huh? I'm not good at this. This is boring. This is not entertaining at all. My apologies.
she's possessed by the absolute. Also have the black holes Yuzi creates in episode 6 when she's possessed by the absolute solver. And finally, we took a gander at the absolute solver's damage over Earth and Tessa's exposition dump in episode 6. All of these scenes intrinsically tie black holes to the absolute solver in one way or the other.
Wait, you skipped this one.
She was always all, build doors against the coming sky demons. The singularity awakens. Look at this cool S I can draw.
MatPat's, you know, the MatPat's theory. The S character. The S. Honestly, I don't believe in the S, but I believe in the A. I don't know why. Just A, first letter in the alphabet, might be important. Might be important. I don't know. Just saying. That's my logic. What's the first letter in the alphabet? A. So it will be like, must be some important character, right? I don't know, maybe. Whatever glitch says, I guess.
Singularity awakens. Look at this cool S I can draw.
S is still a possibility, maybe.
Yeah, true. In here, Nori mentions the singularity, and it is likely that this was the absolute solver speaking, as we know she was fully possessed at some point. And yes, it's true that the singularity is a point of a black hole where space and time break down catastrophically. However, I do think that the absolute solver is referring to this singularity more so to a predicted event, instead of just highlighting a black hole's origin point just cause. It is possible that the singularity refers to the moment in time where all the solver-powered drones gather to break the planet apart. After all, the absolute solver has been quite correct in its predictions. It knew that the disassembly drones were coming to Copper 9, and that they would construct spires around the disassembly.
Nori's I don't know what it says here.
Drones were coming to Copper 9, and that they would construct spires around the planet as per Sin's orders.
Jay, relay hand. Sin's orders. Stone of Life, then construct Spire. Step 2.
Alright, that is the more in your face evidence, but how about we dig in a little deeper? Throughout the show, there is a total of 18 different drawings of black holes, which are connected to the Absolute Solver in some way. How about we count them all in a quick bonus round?
Okay.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
Oh, but there's actually more. Aside from these drawings, we have this scientific article here about gravitational waves, which are a commonly known remnant of black hole activity. And to cap it all off, we also have 3 mathematical equations in these drawings. One in here, another one in here, and the third one in here. The thing is, that all of these equations are not mindless gibberish. These equations are heavily related to black holes as well, calculating key parameters like the effects of its gravitational pull on one object, the potential energy that gravitational pull would generate, or how the black hole would bend the curvature of space and time. And to my knowledge, those are all.
Yo, Glitch and Liam, they did their homework. They did their homework. They did some research. They did their homework. Oh. Okay.
Or how the black hole would bend the curvature of space and time. And to my knowledge, those are all the scenes that connect the Absolute Solver and black holes together. I told you things would get sciencey.
Fine, I get it. The Absolute Solver and black holes are intrinsically related, but if there is no clear scene where the
Wait.
Solver and black hole
No.
are intrinsically related, but if there is no clear scene where the Absolute Solver says its final form is a black hole, then all of this is a bit meaningless. We kind of need more definite evidence.
Oh, you want something more definite? Okay then. I have it on this timestamp, if you want to skip ahead, but allow me to go on a little tangent before we get there. What if I told you that every single one of the Absolute Solver's powers in the show could be inspired by black holes? Perhaps this might or might not have been in Liam Vika's creative vision, or perhaps this is purely coincidental, but using heavy gravitational pulls and reconfiguring matter down to their subatomic structure, these are both main features of black holes as matter falls inside of them, and besides these.
Did you notice it? Did you notice it? Hold on. In the animation. Look at how Uzi moves right here. Look.
Are both main features of black holes as matter falls inside of them.
There was a little bit of that leg movement like that, but mostly it's just sliding like that. Barely any movement, just. Yeah, is the stream lagging?
And besides that, black holes are also capable of reproducing one of the main powers of the Absolute Solver, holograms, illusions, hollow spooky snake crab stuff, while it is.
Excuse me?
Black holes are also black holes as matter falls inside of them, and besides that, black holes are also capable of reproducing one of the main powers of the Absolute Solver, holograms, illusions,
I did not know that. Wait, is that true? Wait, black holes have like the capacity to make holograms, illusions? Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Falls inside of them, and besides that, black holes are also capable of reproducing one of the main powers of the Absolute Solver, holograms, illusions, Harlow spooky snake crab stuff. While it is likely that this was a coincidence, black holes are also capable of creating illusions in a way, using a bit of time dilation in general relativity, of course.
Black holes can create illusions?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. What? What do you mean black holes can create illusions? I almost said correlate. Correlate. Stupid.
How?
Don't worry. Of course.
Black holes can create illusions? How?
Don't worry. The idea is actually pretty easy to understand.
How?
In order to illustrate how black holes form illusions, how about we do a little experiment?
Oh, no. Please don't.
How about we throw Yuzi into a black hole?
Alright. Anything for science.
And I'm sorry.
Imagine you and I are in a spaceship, safely watching Yuzi fall into a black hole. So, what happens to Yuzi? Well, according to general relativity, the answer depends on who you're asking the question. Yuzi would give you her personal perspective, but it turns out that her answer would be completely different from ours. Let me tell you what would really happen instead. What really happens is that as Yuzi gets closer and closer, her entire body gets stretched bottom first into the black hole singularity as she approaches the speed of light. However, the thing is, we actually do not get to see any of that from our spaceship. In fact, from our perspective, we would see Yuzi not move at all. It would be as if time were completely stopped for her. It would take us days, or even years, to actually see her appearance change. And by the time she really does move, we would only see her body widening, while she fades to red very very slowly. It turns out that for years we've been watching an illusion of her, as the insane gravitational pull of a black hole warps her projection of space and time to us. And so, that's how black holes can cause illusions. Again, I'm not saying these exact black hole phenomena are the reasoning behind these powers, but more so a possible source of inspiration.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Huh. Yeah. I never knew that. Never in my life have I ever knew that black holes can basically create illusions due to like time stuff, time and space stuff. Huh. Well, you know what they say. You learn something new every day. Did we just learn? Black holes create illusions. Okay. Hold on a second. Technically speaking, now with that piece of information, so characters that can basically create black holes, they also have basically the power of illusions in a way, because of what was just said. Yeah. Gravity is a very versatile thing. At first you think, oh, it's only capable of this, but the more and more and more you learn about gravity, you learn of other stuff like anti-gravity, and then super gravity. It's like, huh? There's more to things than meets the eye. There's more to things than meets the eye. Okay. Continue.
I never thought you knew so much about science.
Yes, it's almost as if I was doing a PhD in physics or something.
Anyway.
Oh, good for you, I guess.
What's the more definite evidence you were talking about that makes you suspect the absolute solver is a black hole? Surely you have a
Brain Blast, the solver of the absolute fabric, the void, the exponential end.
The void, the exponential end. What is like the basic black hole? I don't know what you just did, but don't do that ever again. Stop fucking moving. exponential end. Black holes are like basically ever expanding. It's an exponential end. Yeah, definitely a black hole.
Fabric, the void, the exponential end.
Oh boy.
Oh boy indeed. Oh goody. Right from the serpent's mouth. After making it abundantly clear that the absolute solver and black holes are connected, doesn't these self-nicknames raise a few suspicions? What about the fact that Nori, possessed by the absolute solver, drew a black hole with monster fangs alongside the rest of her drawings? Could this be an indication of things to come? Heck, what about the fact that this black hole in episode 6 presents huge tentacles, latching onto organic and inorganic matter alike on Earth? The fact that the absolute solver calls itself the void could be an implication that its true form is a celestial body where nothing, not even light, is able to escape. It could also make sense thematically. We know that the absolute solver parasites are quite sensitive to solar radiation on their own. However, if the absolute solver extends its control, reproducing and controlling more and more hosts, its destructive capabilities could skyrocket from insignificant to start consuming. Heck, this could be a long jump of my own. So take it with a grain of salt, but what if what really happened here was that Jay's absolute solver fled from its physical form to her corrupted core, and once it was destroyed, this undeveloped parasite then fled away, only to die out without a host? What if what really happened in these scenes was that the absolute solver attempted to create another hatchling in black hole form, which would simultaneously deal with the Sentinel drones coming to damage its host, but because the absolute solver's corruption over Yuzi isn't total yet, the process was interrupted. And the cherry on top of this all, it turns out that most phenomena regarding black holes can be modeled by using exponential equations. Might be another coincidence, but gravitational redshift, time dilation, Hawking decay, and the black hole's mass gain itself, they all follow complex exponential equations in astrophysics. So yeah, perhaps this far-fetched hypothesis may not be so far-fetched after all. As much of a stretch as this may look initially, the absolute solver's final form might be a series of black holes engulfing different planets. After reproducing itself a bunch, the absolute solver gathers control of a high amount of drones, and if this hypothesis is correct, these infected drones ultimately combine their numbers in a transformation event called the Singularity, which culminates in all the absolute solver parasites transforming into a black hole that constantly feeds over the planet it was summoned. If uses corruption as anything to go by, I believe that these are the same steps the absolute solver wants to follow for Copper 9 as well. Along with Yuzi and all, the absolute solver will take control of the rest of the Cabin Fever Lab subjects in order to destroy the planet completely. I rest my case here. Tinfoil hats off. What do you think? Is my crackpot hypothesis a little more plausible now?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I did not expect this. I don't know what I was expecting, but not this. I don't really know what to say. I don't really know what to say. I don't know what to say.
K. I can see why you would think that the absolute solver would have a final form like this, but we kind of need more evidence. Seems like a big leap from everything we know so far.
Right. This is why I don't want to call this a proper theory just yet. I want to wait for a bit more clarity before I expand on this hypothesis. It is quite likely that...
Actually, good decision. Don't call it like a complete theory. No. A hypothesis. True. More correct. A hypothesis is more. Hala, leave me alone. Yeah. Not all episodes are out yet. Not all episodes are out yet. Just gotta wait for all of them to come out. Then we can, We'll see if things were, if they were right, if they were wrong. Were they, going on the right path, or just completely left? In both ways. Left as in left, or left just fucking left. Disappeared. Gone. Into the abyss. The abyss right there. That's the void. What's down there? I don't know. Actually, I know, I see, but you don't. Honestly, I see this theory being true. I can see it being true. I can see it being true. It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. It's a good video. It's a good video.
More clarity. I don't want to call this a proper theory just yet. I want to wait for a bit more clarity before I expand on this hypothesis. It is quite likely that we'll get our answers by the time episode 7 releases. I make and that
either episode 7 or 8. Either one.
That we'll get our answers by the time episode 7 releases. I'm excited to see whether I'm right on this, or whether I'm wrong in an incredible fashion. And that brings us to the end. That's all I have for today. In case you missed it, this was one of my planned 4 uploads as episode 7 starts rearing its head. If you want to stay tuned of my planned 4 upload.
This makes no sense. Yeah, no. She's dead. Tessa dead? Definitely gotta check that out when it comes out. Definitely gotta check that when it comes out. Storytelling genius. What does it really mean? No, we gotta check those out after this.
As episode 7 starts rearing its head. If you want to was one of my planned 4 uploads as episode 7 starts rearing its head. If you want to stay tuned for the next upload, please stick around. Also, it has come to my attention that the GlitchX stream will have a Q&A session with Liam Vickers. I will keep my eyes peeled if he says anything interesting lore-wise, and if he does, perhaps I might fit another video into my schedule. Alright then. See ya.
Wait, hold on, did you just say schedule?
If he says anything interesting lore-wise, and if he does, perhaps I might fit another video into my schedule.
Schedule, not schedule, schedule. Okay.
Alright then. See ya.
Alright. My final thoughts on this theory. I mean, hypothesis. On this hypothesis. Very interesting. Learned something new. Don't you dare to fucking... Don't fall off of my ear, please. If you'll be kind enough to never do that again. Honestly, I see this being very plausible. Very plausible. But it's Murray Jones. God knows what the hell is going to happen next. God knows what the hell is going to happen next. How will the next episode start off? I don't know. But this might be true. This might be true. Goddamn. Black holes can create illusions. Huh. Never in a million years have I ever thought that would be something that... Bro, you learn more from watching YouTube videos than you do like in school, like more. Alright, well, next video. What will be the next video? What does it really mean? The X. The next video. The X marks the spot. Spot. I'm intrigued.
Hey, Vsauce! Michael here. Take a look at this. Simple enough, right? But watch what happens next. Okay, what the heck is this thing?
Why are you vibrating like that, Grace?
How are you doing? Do you need anything? I usually call you here, not the other way around.
Well, I was wondering if you could do something about V. She's been having this weird X thing on her visor for hours now.
John Madden. Football. Let's go Mets.
An X symbol, you say? Don't you mean Twitter?
What?
Concerning.
The X symbol? Don't you mean Twitter? Okay, fuck you. Okay, fuck you. I lost a piece. Oh, no.
Concerning. $8.
Huh?
What?
Concerning. $8.
No, I mean X.
Yeah, that name will never work.
I'm talking about the weird 606 error that
Oh, did you say 606? You know what? That reminds me of a theory. Sit down, boy. You knew damn well what you were dealing with asking me for help. How about a quick refresher to get things started? In section 4 of my last read video, we covered—
Damn. We have to watch this video, it seems. Okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'm watching it. Fuck it. Did you watch it yet? No. Fuck it, we're watching. Fine. So it's Virgin cold is growing. Fine. Gotta watch this. God damn. Wait, what? I don't remember watching it. I don't remember watching. Okay, maybe I've seen like a few seconds of it. A few seconds, like nearly a whole minute. The fuck did I just witness? Internet City. Honestly, these guys at the Internet City, Internet Mikey and Aaron, they disappoint me nowadays. I'll be honest. Okay, all answers revealed. A complete Merge-Ons episode 6 breakdown.
partying anytime soon. Probably. Want me to put my jazzy playlist instead?
Wait, no.
Hang on. Don't mind them. I'm sure they'll stop.
Goddamn. Start from the beginning. I love the scenery Merge-Ons. I love it. No way. The song is very familiar, but I don't know where the hell it is from.
Well, it finally happened.
Stab.
Episode 6 is finally out, and it was just
For a few months now.
as much of a banger as I imagined. Hello there. Welcome back. It's been a while. Did you enjoy the episode as much as
Lord Drone.
Yeah.
What is it?
What's that sound from downstairs?
Oh, there are still some people at the episode 6 watch party. Don't mind them. I'm sure they'll stop.
Yeah. So many things I've missed out. Honestly, I'll be guilty. I'm the guilty. Of what, you might ask? I'm about to answer. Honestly, I kind of forgot about Merge-Ons existing until episode 6 came out. episode 6 came out, I'm like, oh yeah, Mergeons, it exists. And then went down the spiral now. Got hooked again. Got hooked again. Yeah, that's my thing I'm guilty of. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I kind of forgot about Mergeons existing until episode 6 came out. For a second, I forgot words, stuff, scratching my head. Porn video.
Partying anytime soon. Probably. Want me to put my jazzy playlist instead?
Wait, no.
Hang on.
Don't.
Damn it. Heck, how do I turn this thing on? Much better. So, as I was saying, I think episode...
The fuck was that noise? The fuck was that noise? The fuck are all of these noises around me? You heard people in the back? There's no more void. I mean a little, but hey. Anything going on? Nothing really. I swear some of these humanoids are annoy the shit out of me. Human beings. Human beings. Human beings. Don't you just hate human beings? No? I do. They're annoying. Sometimes. There are some cool ones. There are cool guys, but most of them are annoying.
Much better. So, as I was saying, I think episode 6 is the best episode of Murder Drone so far. Not only it was emotionally charged, but there were lore dumps left and right. Some scenes in the episode confirm previous theories of this channel, while some others debunk certain...
I gotta go back and watch all the rest. And all the other ones. Yeah, maybe later. Maybe later.
guesses or hypothesis. And on top of that, channel, while some others debunk certain guesses or hypothesis. And on top of that, there are many revelations about the past of the Murder Drones timeline. Hold
on, I just
top of that, there are many revelations about the past of the Murder Drones.
Smile. No, just a growing smile. You notice that?
And on top of that, there are many revelations about the past of the Murder Drones timeline. All of these keep the questions going. Can't wait for episode 7 to come out already. So, as usual, let's break down every...
I gotta wait until spring of 2024. And some people be asking, how will I survive until then? How will I survive? Motherfucker, keep yourself busy. Watch some other shit, bro. How do I survive? Simple, survive. Waiting for episode 6 and 8. 6? Why you gotta wait for it? Waiting for episode 7 and 8 be like, current objective, survive. It's easy, right? Just gotta keep yourself busy by other stuff. Watch some shit. Do some stuff, and yeah. And believe me, that time will fly by quickly. Believe me, it will fly by quickly. Why do I suddenly talk like this? I don't know. Well, speaking of watching stuff, I recently finished a lot of like horror movies franchises. Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, actually those 3 at the beginning, one that Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, not that recent. The most recent ones are Hellraiser and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Honestly, at the end, they were really becoming all that scary, more just gross and disgusting. No, gross is not scary. Gross is just gross, disgusting. Yeah. The fuck happened to Hellraiser, man? The fuck happened to the franchise? Like, I feel like after the 3rd movie, it lost its touch. It's like, it lost its touch. I don't know, it's just some... I don't know, it's kind of became garbage. Hellraiser, I don't know why so... Yeah, it's about Mergeons. Keep a focus on the Mergeons. Fuck everything else. Mergeons. Click your fucking
thing from episode 6. This day. So, as usual, let's break down everything from episode 6, this time into a total of 5 sections. These 5 sections will cover the most important beats from this episode, including every scene where Liam Vickers shows us his finger fetish. Seriously, has anyone noticed how many finger scenes there are in this episode? It's kinda creepy if I'm honest. Alright, are you ready? It's kinda creepy if I'm honest. Alright, are you ready? I
don't think he has finger fetish. I don't know. I don't think so. No. I mean, would I be surprised? Not really, honestly. But hey, to each their own, I guess. To each their own.
We are good to go, though, I've got to say. Alright, are you ready? I think we are good to go, though, I've got to say, just as a heads up, I love the smell of being partially right in the morning.
I can relate, buddy. I can relate. Your boy's always right, right? Your boy's always right. Nori is still alive. Your boy might be wrong on this one, but if I'm right, you know who called it, right? You know who did it. Me. Stop playing with me. I'm a detective. Not really. You get it. I'm always right. And if you ask, how does it feel to always be right? I say, damn, it's kind of tiring, not gonna lie. The smell of being right in the morning, just intoxicating. It's intoxicating. It's delightful. Just amazing. I wanna smell that every day. Don't gotta sniff too hard, otherwise you'll start bleeding from your nose. That's actually true if you just too much or too hard, you could potentially bleed from your nose. By the way, one time I'm just sitting on here, not this chair, the other chair, sitting here doing something on my phone, and then suddenly I felt like something coming down my nose. I thought it was all like boogers or something. You know, maybe I was sick. No, I touched it. It's like it was blood. I just had a sudden nosebleed, all of a sudden. It was like a going down. I don't know why, but I just did. I just had a nosebleed out of nowhere. I just did. Okay, enough with the story times. Enough with the story times. Enough with rising our egos. Just get back to the video.
Just as a heads up.
Also, I just now noticed the little blush right here. Oh, so cute, so adorable, so adorable, so adorable.
I love the smell of being partially right in the morning. Let's not jump right into the more complex stuff and dive instead into something a little simpler, a head warmer, if you may, to get things going. Let's begin by talking a little about the Cabin Fever Labs and the Sentinel drones. At the start of the episode, in the offices of the Cabin Fever Labs, we see this green-haired worker drone with a grey dress trying to hide from Sentinels.
Oh wow, that is not good for business.
Okay.
Sorry, not those Sentinels, these Sentinels. The thing is, even though we are never told this drone's name, if we turn on the captions for the episode, or if we go to the credits, we can see that she's labeled as Subject 029.
Lizzie Freeman, the same voice actor for Pomni from The Amazing Digital Circus. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Lizzie Freeman also voiced the character Lizzie as well, like for 1 or 2 episodes, right? What was this? Yoshi's Island music in the background or something?
We go to the credits, we can see that she's labeled as Subject 029. This essentially
it just says Yoshi there, and I just assumed.
We can see that she's labeled as Subject 029. This essentially confirms what I previously theorized back in my teaser analysis, that the great...
Do I have to go back and watch the entire catalog? Or just keep making references to your previous ones? I'll do it off stream. I'll probably do it off stream. I'll do it all off stream. 2 videos in 1 stream? Yeah, why not? 2 videos right now.
Grey-dressed drones that Cabin previously theorized back in my teaser analysis, that the grey-dressed drones at Cabin Fever Labs subjects, much like Eva and Nori, who wore a grey dress in Khan's photographs in episode 4, or Alice throughout the entirety of episode 6, or even this drone corpse under the floor of this cabin in episode 4. By the way, have you noticed there is a drawing of the Sentinel drones and
no, I didn't. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm ashamed of myself. It was right there. It was right there. It was right there. It was right there! And you don't gotta focus all too much on it. You don't gotta focus all too much. It's like, oh, that's a Sentinel right there. That's a Sentinel. Oh, that's a Sentinel right there. That's a Sentinel. Alright. Who cares about the Sentinel? Who cares about the Sentinel? We're just gonna not talk about that. There's clearly the few days have been passed since she was there, I think. Few days. Look at those. Days, weeks, months even. Or what about this? What is this eldritch abomination right here? What's this? You see this? Right here. You gonna talk about that? No? Okay. No? Okay.
In episode 4, by the way, have you noticed there is a drawing of the Sentinel of this cabin in episode 4?
To anyone, everything is over. Don't. That count for anything, any sin. The something kill? I can't really read all that. I really want to know what it says there now. I really want to know what it says.
4. By the way, have you noticed there is a drawing of the Sentinel drones in here too? Just telling you in case the internet hasn't already. It is in this facility, where the test subjects were tinkered with, imbuing them with absolute solver strings in their core programming. These test subjects would remain in the office, doing simple tasks in old computers as the J.C. Jensen scientists studied their behavior through the cameras in the building. Oh, now that I'm talking about my teaser analysis, I suppose this is a good time to do some housekeeping. Yes, I'm aware I was wrong in my previous video. The baby cry and the laugh are not from Uzi and Nori, but from Bo and Alice, as we can hear in the episode. And aside from that, this symbol doesn't mean that the connection between the test subjects and the absolute solver failed, but rather that they are stuck in a boot loop. My bad. It was an innocent guess. As always, there's not much to go to with teasers like this. Anyway, let's talk about Yoshi's now. Sentinel drones, as established in episode 6, are anti-drone dingo robots built by J.C. Jensen themselves. Now, why are there Sentinels in the Cabin Fever labs to begin with? It's quite simple really. These Sentinels were initially built to get rid of any test subjects with possible malfunctions. However, it seems that these Sentinels now attack all drones in their vicinity, regardless of whether they are malfunctioning or not. As you can see, their visor says to eliminate AI targets. They not only attack test subjects of the Cabin Fever labs, but they are also hostile towards N and V, even if they don't present any unusual behavior. It seems to me that the Sentinel's main directive was changed at one point by the J.C. Jensen scientists working in the Cabin Fever labs.
Or actually no. That might be not. I might not be correct. I might not be correct. Hold on. Nah. Unlikely. I was about to say or by sin or absolute solver, but nah, I don't think that. Nah, not really. Nori? Nah, I'm just kidding. Unlikely.
They changed their objective from killing a few drones to killing all of them, all in order to ensure there were no test subjects left in the building. Now, I wonder what catastrophic event might have caused J.C. Jensen to have this change of mind and kill every test drone in their scientific program.
To solve.
As always, things come at a time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Wait, Lord Drone. You say that the Sentinels have the directive to eliminate AI targets, but didn't one of them bite Tessa's arm?
Well.
Yeah, what about that?
Yes, of course. That is just an honest mistake by this dastardly Dino dude. Once this Sentinel drone realizes the error of his ways, he has an aneurysm, and then straight up fucking dies. These Raptors have a more central role in the latter half of the episode. When all the Sentinel drones start closing in on Tessa and the gang, we see a Sentinel drone with red eyes target the entire cast, with the rest of the Sentinel drones following soon after. Now, since we see this one Sentinel,
One second.
rest of the Sentinel drones following soon.
I did not notice him getting up. Okay, I know some of you might say, "What do you mean you didn't notice it? It's right there. Why didn't you notice it?" I don't know, I just didn't. I just didn't notice it, alright? There's some things I notice and some things I don't. For example, I didn't notice they are up there. Those are up there. I didn't notice them. These wires, I didn't notice all of that until now. Man, I'm slow. Goddamn, I'm slow. Goddamn.
Soon after. Now, since we see this one Sentinel drone change the color of his eyes before that, and since this is Doll's trap after all, one might assume that it was Doll who took control of this Robodino. However, if you pay close attention, you might just realize that this Sentinel drone is the same one that bit Tessa's arm, as we can still see her blood on his mouth, so
yeah, I don't think you had to point that out, like specify, like, oh, this is the same drone that bit Tessa's arm. I'm pretty sure that was very, yeah, everybody's like, yeah, that's the same one. No need to point it out. It's obviously the same one. It's obviously the same one. Got a taste of blood and then enjoyed it.
drone is the same one that bit Tessa's arm, as we can still see her blood on his mouth, so yeah, he was not dead after all. The fact that his eyes are red doesn't exclusively mean that Doll controlled this Sentinel drone, but more so that he has a main error in his directive, as we can see in his visor. In this one scene, this corrupted Sentinel orders the rest of his kind to attack at will, and that isn't necessarily Doll's doing. Alright, the easy part of this video is out of the way now. For this next section, before we start, allow me to play some clips for you.
Why involve Doll? What's happening to her?
She reckons the humans did something to her folks down here. Gave them a sickness she inherited.
The Solver.
We know it mutates in damaged AI. It took Sin as a host, then it took everything.
Also, another thing, I'm pretty sure some of you are like sick now. Anybody who will watch this after, you're like, ah.
Sin as a host, then it took everything.
I did not notice those things moving. Those things moving, I did not notice. Like these little, I almost called them pebbles, but damn, those are some big pebbles right there. Look, they're moving. I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it before.
Happening at home. Thought they could understand it. All they did was spread it. I'm here to find which drones were infected. I'll need you to choose the universe over one little drone and...
Hold on. No, you see it.
What? Before she's not herself anymore.
So good! 2717!
So, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know what this means. I was right about the if you've
understanding those solver-powered drums.
Been on my channel for a while, you know what this means. I was right about the nature of solver powers. I was almost completely, right. If you watched my very first video, you might remember.
I didn't. Callbacks. These fucking callbacks. Goddamn, I tore off a part. Doesn't matter. This part doesn't work. This side doesn't work anymore. Only the left side works. The right, no, it doesn't. These fucking callbacks. Maybe I did a bad decision. I mean, they were months ago, before episode 6 was out. But, whatever. Watch them off stream. Gotta finish this one first. Then I could, like, I don't know, do other stuff.
What I discussed about solver-powered drones like Uzi and Doll. If not, I'm afraid you'll have to watch the entire 22-minute video all by yourself. Fine, I guess I can do you a favor. In a nutshell, My general understanding is that solver-powered drones were created in the Cabin Fever labs by imbuing the test subjects with absolute solver strings in their programming. These solver powers are passed down to their offspring, allowing them to tap into the absolute solver and use the same reality-bending powers as the real thing. However, the link between these worker drones and the absolute solver also functions the other way around. The solver-powered drones not only start seeing hallucinations of the absolute solver, but the
Just hallucinations that are apparently part of the gravity powers that the solver has. Black holes, hallucinations, as we just learned. Okay. And all of these stuff makes more sense.
solver-powered drones not only start seeing hallucinations of the absolute solver.
No, I don't think this one was a hallucination. I think this was an actual thing that this shit did happen. Whatever this is, that's real. That ain't no hallucination. That ain't no damn digital hallucination. That was a real thing.
But the more they use their powers, the more exposed they are to being controlled by the absolute solver through their shared code. The solver-powered drones constantly try to reject the calls from the absolute solver in an attempt to avoid possession. This constant rejection causes these drones to overheat, and the only way they can refrigerate, by virtue of J.C. Jensen's design philosophy, is to drink oil. The drones that falter to the absolute solver turn into solver drones, and at the time, I believe this meant that the drones were fully possessed, unless, you know, they get yeeted into the stratosphere. Most of
Oh, somebody got possessed by the absolute solver and is losing their mind. Yeet them in the outer space, they'll fix them up. Yeet them in the stratosphere, that'll fix them up. I'll patch them up right now. Instantly. Fixes them. You just yeet the fucking person. Just yeet them in the stratosphere, that'll fix them up. That's all you need to do.
Those fundamentals about solver-powered drones stand true now, thanks to the evidence of this very episode. However, we now know that true possession is reached the moment the drones themselves display yellow eyes at all times, aside from sporting the absolute solver's characteristic voice.
Oh,
don't mind. Markiplier. Markiplier, hold on. Fuck off, Destiny. I won't play you. Markiplier. Hey, hi there, Mark. Oh shit, that didn't fix anything. Fuck off. There. Markiplier. Whatever, you get it. I also made a video with Markiplier. I also made a video about Markiplier, you know. Was that the bite of 80? Was that the bite of 87? Yeah, it was, Mark. It was. Yeah.
What the fuck, okay? Not okay!
Giggle.
Okay.
I am so naughty.
But Lord Drone, if true possession means yellow eyes, how come N, V, and J have yellow eyes and be fine? They were white before in the flashbacks, so how is it they're yellow now? What's up with that?
Oh boy, do I have news for you. Please save this question for a little later. The answer might actually surprise you. So, full possession of a drone means that the absolute solver is now capable of distorting reality with a higher power, evidenced by the black holes Yuzi creates throughout episode 6. And much like I predicted, since the absolute solver symbol is quite small in this scene, this seems to suggest that the absolute solver abilities are more destructive the stronger the bodies, with a higher amount of possessed drones amplifying the potential for destruction.
Yet another moment of Centurion not noticing things in the merge rooms. Number 30, 30, 30, 30.
Potential for destruction.
Lucy, no!
That whole thing, I did not notice it. Alright? Don't. Shut up. Shut up.
Lucy, no!
And that as well. That as well.
During episode 6, we see Yuzi lose control to the Absolute Solve multiple times. N is exposition dumped by Tessa on the risks on letting her unloose, while V witnesses firsthand just how devastating these powers can be. That is why, towards the end of the episode, we get this scene, where even though they talk nothing about it, they both comprehend how dangerous it would be to let her turn completely. Heck, it's now clearer than ever, as I previously predicted, that this is the entire reason they were sent to Copper 9 in the first place, to disassemble any remaining Solver-powered drones, in order to stop the program/AI mutation known as Absolute Solver from spreading any further to other exoplanets.
Better to stay distant, though. Don't you think? Since I'll have to kill you next.
Listen, I know they're robots, but man, imagine if this was an actual person or something. Just an actual person and just somebody just that on your eye. Ugh. Ugh.
Since I'll have to kill you next.
Worker drones are corrupted, and that's why the company sent us.
Her last known act was sicking you lot on the human exoplanets.
Why? That's what we're trying to figure out, bozo.
I mean...
I'm perfect, yeah, but fuck you, still.
Considering that the map you
That's what we're trying to figure out, bozo.
Considering that the map you yourself showed and contains the title Corruption Influence, I think it's pretty self-explanatory why Sin would send a recon team to exterminate Solver-powered drones. But again, more on that later. By the end of episode...
Also, until... yes. Another thing I didn't notice till recently.
Solver-powered drones, but again,
that fucking bubblegum. That bubblegum, they didn't notice it before. And especially
more
this.
on that later. By the end of
Never noticed that before. Until recently. What the fuck did that thing win?
of episode 6. Drones. But again, more on that later. By the end of episode 6, we see that Yuzi has already partially turned. Look at this scene in the elevator. Even though the lighting is a bit tricky, notice how Yuzi's right eye is colored yellow, while the other remains purple. By the way, the right eye has consistently been the eye that turns into the Solver symbol whenever Solver-powered drones use their powers. But here's the kicker. I think there's another drone in the show that has already partially turned as well. Another drone that has had her mother go to the cabin fever labs, and that has been concealing her right eye this entire time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really? Is that supposed to be like a little twist? Number 70 100 millionth Centurion not noticing stuff. Until somebody pointed it out, I did not notice that this was this bluffing.gif. I honestly thought, she was rebooting until somebody pointed it out to me that, oh, again, a video essay, another video essay. It's like 1 hour and 20 minutes long. It's a pretty good essay, not gonna lie, pretty good video. Pointed it out to me. Told me that it says bluffing.gif. I don't know, man. Like, I'm disappointing myself with each day. With each day, I just make myself more and more of a disappointment. I just disappoint myself.
Yeah, I'm talking about goofy ass bouncy girl. There's a pretty high chance Doll is also getting
goofy bouncing drum.
Yeah, I'm talking about goofy ass bouncy girl. There's a pretty high chance Doll is also getting corrupted as well. This could explain why we see her eyes reflected in the monitor of episode 4.
You know, I'm not gonna say it because you already know. You already know what I'm gonna say. You already know what I'm gonna say. You already do. So I won't say anything.
While also seeing one of the hands of the Absolute Solver in the same cabin. The same applies.
You already know.
To the scene where we see a hologram of Sin, then one of the hands of the Absolute Solver, and then we a hologram of Sin.
Didn't notice.
Then one of the hands of the Absolute Solver.
Didn't notice.
And then we see
Didn't notice until recently.
Doll standing behind Yuzi.
Like, how didn't you notice it? How didn't you notice it? Man. It's less about the theories and me just. It's less about reacting to theories and more about me just disappointing in myself. Like, okay, this right here about the little smile, that's understandable.
One of the hands of the Absolute Solver
is a little understandable too.
The scene where the hands of the Absolute Solver in the same.
Also understandable. This, a little, not so understandable. How could you not notice all that?
In cabin, the same applies to this scene where we see a hologram of.
How'd you notice that? Was that Sin or Tessa? Could be Tessa.
Sin.
Actually, Sin, yeah, most likely Sin.
Then one of the hands of the Absolute Solver, and then we see.
Oh, there is no excuse to be made to not notice that vodka-driven bitch. There is no excuse in the world. There isn't. How didn't you notice that? Interesting. Interesting. What can I say? Interesting.
Doll standing behind Yuzi. This is one of the moments Doll is beginning to turn, and
I didn't notice them at first. Oh, a human hand, a human leg too. Look right there. I noticed that. Did you? No? I mean, I did. Just now.
So she starts exhibiting similar features to the Absolute Solver's physical form. Heck, this is just me guessing, but I believe that the reason she's rushing towards the bottom of the Cabin Fever Labs is because there's a cure there that can help her get rid of her powers. She wants to get there first, in order to cure herself, before she can cure Yuzi.
Мне тебя жаль. Если я найду то, что ищу, то и тебе помогу. Извини.
Oh, don't you dare!
Great, we have covered all the details of the Solver-powered drones, but surely there is one of them that is worth talking about a little more.
And that is...
You're a lot like her, I'll say. Except her yellow eyes.
Well then, turns out Nori was also fully possessed by the Absolute Solver at some point. This would also explain her clear visions, seeing as the bond she had with the Absolute Solver was much higher.
She was always all, build doors against the coming sky demons. The singularity awakens. Look at this cool ass I can draw.
Now, let's pay attention to some of Alice's lines, and try to make sense of them.
Dealt with witches for too. Though, ain't seen Zero Two since she left us to die. Nori, right?
Yeah.
Sure thought killing all them folks was pretty slick.
So, Nori left the people of the Cabin Fever Labs to their own demise, and in Alice's words, she imploded all folks. This one line could have many interpretations, but if you ask me, I think what happened is that the Absolute Solver took full control of Nori, then went on a rampage around the Cabin Fever Labs, and ultimately made Copper 9's core collapse before fully escaping the facilities, destroying any Sentinel drone the J.C. Jensen scientist threw on her way. The Absolute Solver does have a thing for core collapsing after all. That is, of course, if we take Alice's line at face value.
Okay, no, that's a stretch and a half if I've ever seen one. You can't just make this crackpot theory with only a dubious sentence as evidence. How can you possibly prove that Nori caused the collapse of Copper 9? Why are you so sure the collapse happened at this very location?
I don't know, to me, that seems like a clear-cut evidence that it happened right there. Right there.
Go on then. Tell me how this huge asshole in the ground isn't indicative of a Planeta re-level explosion. Shall I continue then? Okay, so, Nori caused the collapse of Copper 9. However, I don't think she did all of this alone. It's just a guess, but I think either all.
The teaser, hold on, did it. She didn't do it alone. The teasers that Glitch Production has been dropping. One of the more recent ones is Nori, clearly Nori, and Yeva. They worked together. They worked together. They both have the Absolute Solver, clearly. Because if Yeva didn't have the Absolute Solver, then how the hell did Doll have one? She inherited it. It was a team effort. It was a team effort. Hold on. Just gotta say something that I don't know if any of you noticed. Because I did. All the drones that were infected with the Absolute Solver and can basically use the solver, you know, just boop, boop, boop. That would just like, for example, this thingy right here, gravity, ceases to make it cease to exist. The only ones we've seen use them are Sin, Nori. Yeva definitely has it. Yeva definitely has it. We haven't seen her use it, obviously. Why? Because she's dead. She has a corpse. She has one. Dole and Uzi. Those 5. What do they all have in common? They're all females. Have we ever seen a male worker drone with the Absolute Solver? No? The question arises. Does it infect only the females? Does it only affect the females? Or does it it does work on males? We've just never seen it. I don't know. Gotta wait and see. Episode 7 and 8, and then season 2. Maybe we'll see a few of the dudes with it. You know, a few of the dudes running around creating black holes. I don't know. But so far, I feel like only females can get the solver and then use it. I don't know.
Also followed in on her footsteps. All of this alone. It's just a guess, but I think Eva also followed.
By the way, just a little thing. Her name is Yeva. I bet this guy's name is Dima. I bet his name is Dima. His name is Dima. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure of it. Pretty sure. And also Nori is still alive.
I don't think she did all of this alone. It's just a guess, but I think Eva also followed in on her footsteps, being fully possessed by the Absolute Solver as well. These are the only two Cabin Fever Labs drones that made it out of the building alive after all, at least that we know of. And additionally, notice how Eva seems traumatized of this post-collapse photo, as if with PTSD, while Nori seems like she has no recollection of the atrocities they've committed. After the core collapse, the rest is history. Nori would meet Khan later and give Robbo birth to Uzi, despite Khan not knowing anything of Nori's origins.
After the core collapse, I didn't notice the collars. Only your mom be the catch.
Both Eva and Nori. Both Eva and Nora's offspring inherited her mother's powers, which leads to the present time. And last but not least, because we know that there are several disassembly drones loitering around Copper 9.
Yeah, but unfortunately all of them besides the main trio duo now. The duo, because N and J are still alive and V, well... Can you set me free? Will you take my soul away? Casting me in cold, bury me in gold, rest eternally. She got eaten alive by dingoes. By the way, why dingoes? Why? The raptors. Unless raptors. Why dingoes? Have you ever seen a dingo? Me? In real life? Personally? No. But I've seen dingoes. I've seen how they look like. Not in real life, but those are not dingoes. Those are not dingoes. Also, I'm very disappointed that there is probably a chance we'll never, you know, these corpses will never become like genuine characters. They're just corpses right there. They're just corpses. They're not characters, they're just corpses in there. For like decoration, I get decoration. But yeah. I've been talking a lot, like goddamn. Talking a lot. My apologies. Let me stop. Let me dial it back a bit. I want to do some other stuff. Yikes. God damn, my nose just... Whatever, who cares? I guess that just happens to a man when he has a little bit of Armenian in him. And Turkish as well, I guess. Yeah, I'm disappointed that these will probably never become like characters. You know? Never become characters. That right there, that's probably like F. It's probably F. That's M. Let's just say W. That's probably D.
It is quite.
That's C right there. Right there.
So we know that there are several disassembly drones loitering around Cop.
That's C right there. There's another one right there. P. Let's just say that's P.
For 9, it is quite likely that one of them killed Nori as part of their mission. By the way, check out this line of episode 4.
Build doors against the coming sky demons!
Would you believe me if I said this is actually the absolute solver talking here? So that no, this assembly drones killed her most valuable host in Copper 9. It would make a lot of sense with everything we know so far. Most valuable host in Copper 9.
That's J. Oh wait, there are some of Uzi's drawings here too. Yeah, can't put them away. Okay.
9. It would make a lot of sense with everything we know so far. Alright, we can now turn on to the next section.
Wait a second. Have you noticed this binary code here? Does it mean anything?
Oh, nice catch. Really, I'm proud of you. You're making steps as a theorist. Though, to answer your question.
It doesn't. I checked.
You got the whole formula of gravity formula, like math things there. Got it there. But when it comes to like a binary code,
though, to answer your question, I'm proud of you.
Here?
But for a damn binary code, that means nothing. That means nothing. That means nothing. Hold on, let me just check real quick. Hold on. Ain't no way that means nothing. 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 Yeah, sorry for that. Anyways, first off, what were you saying?
Does it mean anything?
Oh, nice catch. Really, I'm proud of you. You're making steps as a theorist. Though, to answer your question,
It doesn't. I checked.
It seems somebody didn't do their research, because in here, binary to text convert 0110110 1110101 11011100 1101100 means null. Get outplayed, buddy. Get outplayed. Get outplayed. It seems somebody didn't properly do the research. It doesn't mean any. It doesn't mean anything. I checked. Didn't check good enough. Didn't check good enough. I rest my case. Well, there wasn't much of a case, but whatever, you get the point. Who are you messing with? Who are you messing with? I did research. I did research. Simply just this whole thing right there in the Google tabs. Go to binary code, insert that again right here, convert, you get no. You didn't do that? You didn't do that. Okay. You didn't do that? Okay. You didn't. Simple. 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 Okay, it's other that you didn't convert those things. And in that case, if we do that, get rid of it, we get this. Okay. Each of these is a letter. Each of these is a letter. This means L. And together it all means no. You didn't do your research. You didn't do your research. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you, buddy. No offense. No offense, really. I just, no. Raise my ego a bit. No. It means no, buddy. It means no.
Oh, nice catch. Really?
It doesn't. I checked.
Let me teach you some binary 101. In order to translate from binary, every letter or number has to be a combination of 8 zeros or 1s. For example, these two sets of numbers mean high. And yes, the first set of numbers in this picture translate into an N, but the other 3 letters don't mean anything.
No. It's either you didn't try because each letter has to be like 8 numbers. That's a letter. So if those are 7, then they don't mean anything. Have you tried at least? Have you tried at least? No? I did. And there you go. Glory. Enough with stroking our egos.
as they are groups of 7 numbers instead of 8, and thus they don't have any discernible translation. So, case solved there. Let's...
Nah. Oh, let me see if somebody pointed it out. Aha! Hold on. Somebody did point it out. Look. There it is. Ah. There. You didn't do your proper research. You didn't do your proper research. Shame on you. Just type those numbers in Google, then go to binary, and it's like gonna translate it for you, I guess. I don't know. That's what I did, and it worked. God no.
Now get back to the next section, which begins with a long overdue confirmation.
Real tired of killing this one. Effective drones were cloned more. Classic Jane.
Such an important thing. Yep, MatPat missed it. Okay.
What's the problem? Isn't this what you predicted? Jay is a clone controlled by Absolute Solver.
Well, not exactly. But that's not why I'm upset. How about we take a little break from theorizing, and we discuss it a while? You might not know me personally. Heck.
No, not a single bit. Okay, for the most of this, I'll try to shut up because the making thing is way too long.
It a while. You might not know me personally. Heck, I'm just a guy behind an MLG voice, but my favorite media franchise of all time is Sonic the Hedgehog, which...
For me, it's Godzilla and Sonic. Shit, who is this guy? Who is Lord Drone, huh? Who is Lord Drone? I wonder who that is, huh? I wonder who that guy is. Shit, it might be me behind that voice, who knows? No. I'm not that smart.
I've voice, but my favorite media franchise of all time is Sonic the Hedgehog, which I've been following closely since I was 5. Through my time in the fandom, I'm of the opinion that Shadow the Hedgehog should have stayed dead after the ending of Sonic Adventure 2, reviving him in Sonic Heroes, and further mangling his origins in his eponymous game tainted the character and the franchise overall, which culminated in a hard reset in one of the worst video games in history. All of this, because the producers thought it would be a good idea to content the fandom and bring him back just for the shits and giggles. Now, I'm not saying this will apply to Murder Drones, but this justification feels very haphazard, and it is accepted very nonchalantly. Sure, I was happy that I was, partially, right in my theory, but in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, this Deus Ex Machina effectively throws a wrench at the stakes of future episodes. Let's imagine that V does really die by the end of episode 6, as the episode itself appears to imply. What's stopping the showrunners from resurrecting V, under the guise of Sin having more and more backups?
I have backups.
What if soft...
Foreshadowed. I have backups. So the clones were foreshadowed, basically. Yeah. She does have backups.
T-Boy dies. Can they resurrect him? If the fan...
I have backups.
What if Softy Boy dies? Can they resurrect him? If the fan base feels his death wasn't deserved? I'm a bit concerned story-wise, because some people might call this an ass pull by the writers of the show, but perhaps I'm alone on that thought.
Yeah. So I can definitely see some people considering it an ass pull, but since it was a little foreshadowed in the episode 5, I don't think that's the case. My personal opinion, episode 5 was the most important episode. have to end this quickly. I have to end this quickly. Please wait. Alright, back again. Gotta finish this quickly. Because it is getting a bit annoying right now.
And this mini rant is just wasting your time. So, break is over. Let's get back to theory.
Oh, break.
This an ass pull by the writers of the show, but perhaps I'm alone on that thought, and this mini rant is just wasting your time. So, break is over. Let's get back to theory time. Regardless of the narrative implications, the fact that Jay has a complete recollection of her deaths does raise a few eyebrows. All this time, we've assumed this eldritch monster thingy to be the absolute solver, possessing Jay as their host. But does this dialogue imply that the eldritch monster was Jay the entire time? Well, let's look at episode 2 again, and check the
Or maybe she just assumed that real tired of killing this one. She just assumed that the first time her killing her was, I don't know.
dialogue lines that do point to the eldritch nightmare to be Jay.
Goofy, shoot! Or give it to me!
Ow, and please don't. And also, I was using those.
I think instead of and, she was saying and.
As we can see, Eldritch Jay seems to address N by his name, so that's it then, right? The Eldritch monster thingy is actually Jay, except it's not that easy.
Because and can be mistaken for each other. Can be mistaken. You mistake one for another.
We also have these other dialogue lines, which point to the Eldritch monster being the absolute solver.
So you are a program?
More like you are our cute puppets. It hurts our feelings you don't remember us.
And what's with the mom hologram?
Easier to assimilate than explain.
So, which one is it? Is the Eldritch monster Jay or the absolute solver? Well, here's my theory. It is actually both. Or, more so, 70-30. A quick justification is because neither Jay nor the absolute solver refer to themselves in plural.
You will not have to discard your pets, and I will not discard you. We're busy then anyway, so whatever. So lame. Oh, Jay's not here. We are trying to repair that host as per our directive.
But in order to explain this a bit better, how about we play a cool little game and build ourselves a disassembly drone? We need to pick one of the drones of this mansion. I suggest going with V.
Oh no!
Okay, whatever, we'll use J. Gee, someone's a little sentimental today. So, we need to upgrade Jay from a worker drone to a disassembly drone. First, we'll need Jay's metallic core, which can be extracted with our disassembly units. Now, what should this assembly drone need to have in order to reckon some exoplanets and disassemble any solver-powered drones? Well, we should take notes from the solver drones we've seen so far. We'll give Jay some wings, claws, and plenty of firepower. Don't forget the nanite tail, of course. Do you think we should give Jay some health regeneration too? In order to do that, we will infect her with Absolute Solver. Oh, what's Absolute Solver, you may ask? Well, despite all the terror originating from planet Earth, the nature of this Absolute Solver seems to be a parasitic hive from planet Earth. The nature of the
clips through. Let me not get nitty picky. Nitty picky? Oh, you should definitely get crucified for saying that. So what the hell is that?
This Absolute Solver seems to be a parasitic, hive-mind alien creature. We originally found them in worker drones with some damaged AI, but now we can apply it to any drone we want. Infecting Jay with Absolute Solver will cause her core to corrupt, but she will have the health regeneration she needs. What? Oh, that symbol? We use it as an abbreviation for core corruption. As you can see, it is the corrupted core, if we were to see it from the top. In order to infect her, we will remove one of her OS strings, and replace it by the hazardous mutation created by the Absolute Solver. This will put her in a zombie-like state momentarily, evidenced by the X in her visor, or the error 606 message. But after that, you have your disassembly drone Jay, ready for you to kill. What's that? You fear Jay will get possessed, or turned into an eldritch monster like Solver-powered drones? Then worry not, our boss Sin has administrator rights, which allow her to install a program that overrides full corruption.
Didn't notice it at first until somebody pointed it out.
So yeah, it may seem like your drone is corrupted, but it's actually doing just fine. The only caveat is that this admin program will cause Jay to lose her core memories from the time she was a worker drone.
You passed out because some internal program is trying to delete these memories.
We still don't know how to circumvent that, but maybe some good hacker will eventually.
Tessa?
You're a mimic! Too tall, handsome, is toxic.
And if it transforms into an eldritch monster thingy? Well, perhaps you should kill it before it's too late. Like that's ever going to happen. Hi, future me speaking. This was where this section was intended to end, but I was revising my notes until I got to 2 findings you should know. So, remember how both solver-powered drones and this assembly drones can't roam around the daylight? Well, I think I've got the answer for that. Both the solver-powered drones and this assembly drones have absolute solver in their programming, which is a parasitic life form that is incredibly sensitive to solar radiation. This is why, if any of these drones were to face the sun, both the parasite and the host are damaged. Also, another thing I discovered is the full meaning of this scene.
Turning inanimate objects into organic objects. Organical to organic.
Care to try and guess what's really happening here? Well, here's my take. I believe that the 3-tentacle alien that we are seeing is actually an absolute solver hatchling. Once the parasite has enough control over the host, it starts to reproduce in this manner, and it seems to be that someone remembers the appearance of these aliens all too well. Right, that's all I had to say. Let's get back to the video.
Holy shit. Lord Drone, I'm going to be honest. My mind has been blown about 3 sections ago. I don't think I can't take much more.
Trust me, don't worry.
3 sections ago. I don't think I can't take much more.
That was quick, that was... honestly, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't know why some of these people like, my mind is hold on. I cannot comprehend. I cannot process all this. I don't have difficulties. I'm just going along. I'm just listening.
Trust me, don't worry.
Thank God. I don't think I can't take much more.
Trust me, don't worry.
Thank God. I was scared you would go on another.
It's about to get worse.
What?
That's right. We're in the final boss now.
It always gets worse. It always
The only
gets
thing
worse.
left to cover from this episode actually happens at the very beginning, by courtesy of Jay and Tessa. Let's hear what they say.
Sin disappeared on Earth.
Bus ran away.
We mutually disengaged. Her last known act was sicking you lot on the human exoplanets. Jay, relay hand, Sin's orders.
Step 1. Clear drop zone of light, then construct spire. Step 2.
Enter labs with this symbol. Not too much to go off, but if Sin wants these labs, we burn them down.
So, from these conversations, we have the following. 1. That best character is still alive, even after being used as a host back on Earth, but that now is at large. 2. That she is a boss of some kind in JC Jensen. 3. That she sent out this assembly drones to different exoplanets. 4. That she wants to clear out life in Copper 9 and construct spires around. And 5. That she's interested in the cabin fever labs. Let's quickly cover these last 2 points. Since Copper 9 has no biological life, the only possible life forms on this planet are the only ones created by the Absolute Solver. Meanwhile, I assume the spires are similar to the Tower of Corpses we saw back at episode 1, which double as safe spaces for spaceships to land, like we saw in episode 3, when Tessa parked close nearby. As per why Sin is interested in the cabin fever labs, well, the show itself answers this for us.
I'm here to find which drones were infected. When we get to the labs and find that list.
Remember what I said about a possible cure for the Absolute Solver? That might also be there too. So, do you remember the timeline I created in my first video? Let's...
Motherfucker, I haven't seen it at all. You just keep bringing it all up, and I haven't seen any of it. I feel so left out a little.
Try to update it with the information we now have about this little cinnamon roll. As it is obvious now, the Absolute Solver took control of Sin and some other worker drones around the Elliot mansion, causing a black hole to appear nearby. However, this black hole isn't the one that causes Earth to disappear. As there's still a photo of the wreckage here, it's likely that this was the Absolute Solver's first display of power, and when taking more drones to control, then Earth was properly destroyed. Yes, destroyed. Not teleported. Earth is not Copper 9. Whoever dared to hypothesize that is probably delusional. I'm looking at you with certain shame. Since Sin is a boss in JC Jensen now, she likely resisted the control of the Absolute Solver at some point, breaking free from possession. This is just my guess, but I believe Sin is in charge of what we might call the disassembly division of JC Jensen, where Sin upgrades, creates, and properly protects drones in order to fight the Absolute Solver before it can amass an interstellar army of Solver-powered drones. As per her current location, it's hard to tell. It could be that the Absolute Solver is trying to control Sin again, and so she's fleeing to another planet to destroy. We don't have much to go to, so perhaps that's one of the main open questions of this episode. Heck, it's possible that the next time we see Sin, it could be as a disassembly drone too, in order to sport the benefits of Absolute Solver without ever turning again. And before I close this section, I guess we can call V out on her lies.
New body, same horrors. Huh, Sin? Anything to screw Sin's plan.
It's clear that V is actually referring to the Absolute Solver, but willfully chooses to name the threat by its first host. However, I don't think she does this.
I don't think that's the case. I think by referring Sin to Sin, it's Sin. 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 All of this, Sin did it.
Intentionally. She may not have the full.
But she did seem like she received a message on her visor. Whenever in episode 5, the beginning of episode 5, so somebody like deep down in this, just a huge mountain corpse of somebody deep down, opening their eyes, their screen's cracked, and it's just looking around. It seemed like they received a message from someone. And that's clearly Sin. And that was clearly Sin in that file. That was her. So who sent her the message? Solver itself? It did took Sin as a host. So everything the Solver does, so anything Sin does is Solver. Solver is Sin, Sin is Solver. That's it. Simple.
Full picture just yet.
It's okay, N.
Intentionally. She may not have the full picture just yet.
It's okay, N. I haven't been honest with V yet.
Alright, that's a wrap. What do you think?
Amazing. I like it.
Please tell me there is nothing else you have to talk about.
Now that you remind me, we do need to discuss these reality-bending glasses again. Where did she pull them from this time? Her RobOS? Actually, don't answer that. We should do a deep dive into them.
Later.
It's 3 in the morning, Lord Drone. Go to bed already.
The fuck? Alright, chill. Chill. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I know. Let me finish the video first, okay? Not the video. Yeah, finish the video first. Relax. Jeez Louise. Jesus, relax. Relax. It is past 3 a.m. Huh.
But I'm not tired.
That wasn't a drone. Go to bed already.
but I'm not tired.
That wasn't a question. Just finish the video and stop bothering him. You wouldn't want to go to the basement again, would you?
Oh boy, I think we've run out of time. So, where do we go from here? What's going to happen in the next episode? We'll likely take things right where they left off. Tessa will ask Enter this assembly Z before she turns into a real problem, only for Ren to refuse. They will have a heated discussion until N decides to flee with Yuzi around the cabin fever labs. Tessa will probably call J for backup, trying to search for N and Yuzi, and it's quite possible that by the end of episode 7, Yuzi turns completely, incapacitating N, and reuniting with a fully possessed doll. But not only that, these two will be reunited with all the Cabin Fever Labs drones that are fully possessed with Absolute Solver, and together, they'll try to destroy Copper 9. It will be up to Tessa, J, N, and possibly V, to stop all of them before this planet suffers the same fate as Earth. I think this idea could be quite interesting to explore, but also, what if we spice things up a little? What if they all fail? By the end of Season 1, Tessa dies, and Copper 9 is fully destroyed. Season 2 will pick things up with a clone version of the main trio, exploring a different planet with the same threats. But perhaps, this time, there will be a familiar face ready to join them in their mission. As always, it's just a guess. You never know what this show may throw at you. Alright, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this behemoth. And hey, stay tuned for more. I don't know when my next upload will be, but surely it will be about something interesting. Be sure to stick around. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a party to attend. See ya.
Did Aang kill Nori? Yep, pretty much, I believe. Yep, and definitely killed Nori. Anyways. That's it, I'm gonna end the stream. My final thoughts. I'm gonna be watching the rest of his videos off stream. Right? The camera is not here. Camera is right there. I'm gonna be watching them off stream. Because I'm pretty sure this will just take a bit longer. Just longer. I don't know. What am I saying? I don't know. I actually am a bit tired now. I am a bit tired. This was interesting. I'll probably... I don't know. Will I do more reactions in the future? I'm not sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. That's the end of